Okay, on my way to Bar Harbor today. On my way across the island, I go through Acadia National Park, and this is the Eagle Lake Carriage Road. I'm going to walk over and take a look at the lake. Bear with me, it's been warm for the last 10 or 12 days, and there's been a lot of melting. And now with this light snow today, the carriage road, which is usually gravel, has a lot of ice on it, and it's covered up with just a tiny bit of snow, which means that you can't tell when you're walking on ice or something else. Here is a nice, so bear with me, it's a little slick here. Here's a nice vista looking out over Eagle Lake. I'll walk a little further. I think I can safely go a little bit further up here and get a better view of the lake. Okay. Eagle Lake, looking across the lake from the carriage road on the north side. And the snow is making things a little indistinct, so I'm gonna button up and head on over to Bar Harbor after driving all the way across Mount Desert Island. Well, I'm in Bar Harbor this morning. Here are a couple tourists on the Bar Harbor town dock. I'm just gonna walk out to the edge of the dock, and we'll pan around and have a look at the harbor today. As you can see, harbor is pretty empty today. As we look out at the islands, and that's Bar Island, and back toward the bar itself, you can see there's basically nobody here today. On top of that, of course, after 10 days with no snow, or 12 days with no snow, it's snowing today. Let's pan in and look toward town. There's one of the hotels on the waterfront, and looking up toward downtown Bar Harbor here. And here we go. There's downtown Bar Harbor, and which is where I'm going to go next and take a few shots. I'm not staying out at very long at any one time because I don't want to get the camera wet. Okay, here I am, standing in the middle of Main Street, looking down toward the water in Bar Harbor. Pan back around. Oh, there's some traffic, so I better get out of the street. This is Main Street looking up from the water. You can see it's pretty crowded today. I can see 2 people. So it's a pretty crazy place today. We'll walk up to the corner here and look up Cottage Street, which is the other primary business street in Bar Harbor. Main Street extends from the water about 4 blocks before you get out of the main part of the tourist area. This is Cottage Street. I'll walk across. A couple more people. This is one of the main business streets. The post office is down there, City Hall, my dentist, and the grocery store. And that's pretty much, and then a few shops, but you can see the shops end in a block. There's also the Criterion Theater, which is apparently shut right now. So here we come, back up, and having a look at downtown Bar Harbor. Okay, time to move and get the camera out of the snow. Okay, I've moved down to the other end of downtown Bar Harbor. This is the Village Green, which is really pretty crowded in the summer, but right now is completely empty. As you can see, there's not a lot going on here. Pretty quiet. Go back this way, so there's some construction on Main Street and a few buildings. A little traffic because this is the main drag in Bar Harbor. And pan back here and a little more construction. And that's it. That's the Village Green. Okay. Once again, I got to get out of the snow. Okay, I've moved from downtown and now I'm cruising down a residential street. You can see they're pretty narrow here. Just driving through. Oh, there's a bad driver. Just jumped out. Right here is the Bar Harbor Hospital. And you can see these residential streets are kind of treacherous if there's any traffic. Okay, another residential street, and I'm heading back toward Main Street, where I will turn, go through downtown and out Cottage Street for my next stop, which is the grocery store. Here we go. That's one of the new hotels. And we run through down Main Street. We're heading toward the water. And as you can see, the traffic's pretty heavy. I can see two moving cars ahead of me. As we run down, we're going to go cover all but one block of downtown Bar Harbor in this segment. And then we will turn onto Cottage Street, and I will stop filming after I make the turn. Okay, now we're into the main tourist part of Bar Harbor. Right now it's not too crowded, but I'd like you to envision what it's like here in August and September, when there are two cruise ships in the harbor that have dropped 5,000 tourists into town. You can imagine it's a little crowded then. Quite a bit more than right now. Okay, we're coming up on Cottage Street, which I looked up a little bit before, but there's the water ahead, and we'll make the turn onto Cottage Street. And here we go. Cottage Street, Bar Harbor. This is, as I said before, this is one of the principal commercial streets here. And I guess I can't go to the movies. That's the theater there, closed until March 16th. Somebody must be taking a little break. As we come through and out of the tourist part and into the more sort of business part. The U.S. Post Office on the right we just passed. And these look like homes, but they're all businesses. As we cruise down here. And I'll just go another block and be done with this segment. It shows you what Bar Harbor is like in March when there aren't so many tourists. Pretty much everybody you see here is from the island today, here on Mount Desert Island. As I turn into my destination for this part of the trip, the Hannaford grocery store. And I'll come back later.